Welcome to A Shock in the Dark, an audio journal of a haunting. This is episode 10. Parental discretion is advised.
Today is Wednesday, May 26th. I guess technically it's Thursday, May 27th. It's 3 a.m. But it's the witching hour, whatever. You know what? It doesn't take the witching hour for stuff to happen, I gotta tell you. I know it's been a while since I recorded, but basically things have been so much worse than I could have ever imagined. And it's gotten very serious, and this isn't a fun project anymore. So I'm just going to pick up with, this week. But, maybe a week ago, I was out at a friend's patio, and I saw these ants eating a dead cockroach. I know it's not very appetizing, but that made me think, why would those ants that were in my apartment near the beginning of all this not just eat the roach? Why would they work together to carry it off in one piece? Why the circle? It just made me realize how strange that whole thing was. And then the scratches started getting worse on my neck and my arms and my back, and in fact they weren't even scratches anymore. They're cuts, like a razor blade or a scalpel or something, super thin but substantial cuts. One cut was right next to my eye. In fact, two cuts. One was right on my cheekbone, and another one was right in, how do I describe this? Like if you were to, at the corner of your eye, but not the inside corner in your near your nose, but the outside corner, right there, right where your eye is. That's where this cut was. And the one on my cheekbone absolutely needed stitches. I didn't actually go get stitches. I didn't want to go to the doctor and have them ask what happened and what am I going to tell them, So I know this is going to sound real manly, but I put super glue on it, and it worked. I had this other cut that was right where my jugular is, obviously not deep enough to cause me to bleed out or anything. But then, the middle of the week last week, I woke up to a cut that looked like, now remember, it's not this, but it looked like it was a puncture wound through my hand. Not, it wasn't all the way through, but it was a puncture wound. And not only was it on the palm of my hand, but I also had a different puncture wound on the opposite side of my hand, on the back of my hand, that mirrored the one on the front of my hand. And it looked very much like stigmata. I'm not a Catholic. I remember reading about stigmata when I was a kid. I have no idea why, but yeah, it looked like I had, my hand had been nailed to a cross, but again, not a puncture all the way through my hand. I took pictures of it just for posterity. And then finally, the next morning, I woke up with 2 burns, large, like 10-inch circles that I would guess are like 2nd-degree burns, maybe, on my back. And these injuries suck. I mean, it's painful. It's sore at the very least. And it's frightening to wake up with, blood on your pillow, blood on your sheets, and to not know what's happening. But there's something that's even more disturbing to me than all that. There's, I call it the goop. It's, I don't know how to describe this to you, except to me, it looks like what would come out of a liposuction machine. It's like this yellowish, thick, it's got the consistency of maybe like the kids' slime stuff, but it's yellow, and it's like, I don't know how to describe it, so I'm just going to say things that come to mind. It's like it has this cellular structure to it. Can't tell you what that means, but it's all over the place. I woke up and this stuff is just everywhere. In my kitchen, in my bathroom, in my bedroom, in my living room. This gross, yellowish, clearish, maybe a little bit of white in it or something. This stuff is everywhere. And anytime I've seen like a horror movie or whatever, a paranormal show, I think, oh, the walls are bleeding. Why don't you collect that stuff and get it analyzed and see what it is? And to my credit, I did put some of this stuff in a jar. Maybe about half an inch worth into what's basically a mason jar. Well, this is why they don't do that, because then I thought, where am I gonna go? How do I, where do you begin to get something analyzed to tell what it is? I have no idea. And before I could even really do much thought or research into it, the next day, this stuff in the jar had basically turned to like a brown crust. Like the jar was basically empty. There was just this brown crust that was left in the jar. And I still have that, but you don't just look in the yellow pages for scientist or something and get something analyzed, So Look, it's been bad, okay, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I thought by now it would have happened, but my friend who recommended a psychic medium to me, I talked to her on the phone, and she said a couple of interesting things. Unfortunately, she's not going to be able to actually be here in my apartment for at least a week. She's out of town. She did say something interesting to me, though, on the phone. She said, this is a quote, I've invited one friend, one spy, a good thing, and a bad thing into my apartment. I told her I've not invited anybody into my apartment. But she said she'll explain it. She said that she's going to bring all the stuff to, I forgot what word she used, but basically some sort of protection for me. And, I mean, she sounds confident that it's all going to be taken care of, so I can only hope. It's just gotten so bad. Just so I make sure I have these, I need to play 3 pieces of audio for you. One of them is the voices, the sounds that I can hear at night, that I finally was able to capture. One of them is, I guess you'd call it, what's it, an EVP? Electric voice phenomenon? And to me it sounds like, well, I'm not going to taint it. I'll just play it and you can decide what you think it might say or not say or whatever. I don't want to influence you. And then there's one more piece of audio. Yeah, there's an alarm going off somewhere, but and it's gone. Obviously don't have an alarm set to go off at 3 o'clock in the morning, so alright, let's just start off with this. I kept hearing these voices. I could not tell what they were saying. I still can't, but this is what I was able to get from my security camera from inside my apartment overnight at night. Here it goes. That is audio from my security camera. It's whatever that sound is, that noise is, it's coming from inside my apartment. This next bit of audio, I think I know what it says, but I'm gonna play it a couple of times. Maybe try to slow it down if I have that capability somehow. But this was also captured on my security camera audio. And I believe it is saying something, and I think I know what that is. So here you go. That's audio from my security camera. And I guess I should play one more piece of audio, and that would be this was very early on. You know, this has been a long time ago. A month ago, 2 months, whatever it's been. This is, I was recording, and this sounds like an EVP to me. This was actually recorded on my phone while I was doing this, talking to you. So, I'll play that for you now. 100% deaf. And because of that, these 100% deaf. And because of that, alright, so look, everything's quiet right now, and that's rare. I haven't been sleeping at all. I have one of those things that measures how much sleep you get, how much REM time, how much deep sleep. And I got really excited because my app told me I got 4 hours of sleep. And then I noticed it was 4 hours of sleep total this week. So that's how much I'm sleeping. So I'm going to try to get some sleep right now while things are quiet. And if I'm able to record this session with the psychic medium, I will. I don't know if she'll be open to that, but I guess I'll find out on my next recording. So, yeah, have a good night, and thanks for being there, whoever you are.
You've been listening to A Shock in the Dark, an audio journal of a haunting. For a free subscription to this series, push the subscribe button. To get an alert when the next episode posts, push the bell notification symbol. Post your questions or comments to the narrator in the comments section below. To contribute your recorded or personal story for this series, send it in an email to aSHOCKintheDARK@gmail.com. Until next time, as our narrator says, good night, whoever you are.